right. Hello, everybody. I hope you all can hear me. Very excited to be doing my third Speed Gaming Live today. So, yeah, so this is Syphon filter, any percent run, time limit of about 1 hour and 10 minutes. If you're not familiar with this game, it's a third-person shooter released for the PlayStation in 1999. So there's going to be a lot of shooting today. So timer starts when I hit play. So here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So as I said, Syphon Filter is a third-person shooter.
When does the operation begin?
Our intelligence within
Modeled quite a bit on Tomb Raider, which was an admitted influence when Eidetic, the developer, made the game. They're now Sony Bend. They just did a few games in the last couple of years. So, so this opening level here is going to have some different bits of tech going on that I will be showing off. The most notable will be the interaction skip. I will try to do a good job at that. So, alright, so what I did there with that M16 crate is I pressed the shoot and action button at the same time. I'm gonna play it safe here. Did not go well. Yeah, that was not a good opener. Ideally, I like to be out of there in 103, 104, but the guard patterns were not good, so I kind of had to wait that out. If I went too far off screen, the game would have automatically triggered a fail. So, not a great start, but we'll try and make up for that. So, but anyway, the shoot and action button, the square and triangle button, I press them at the same time when I am in front of a crate like that to basically skip the animation of Gabe dropping to one knee and opening the crate and picking up the weapons. So I took out Kravich.
I've taken out Kravich and destroyed the comm equipment, but I don't see their uplink dish.
I'll trace it.
So you're gonna see a slight bit of climbing tech here, where I'm basically pressing the aim button as Gabe's foot touches the ledge there, and that kind of cancels out some movement, so it saves about 1/4 to 1/2 of a second. And I'll be doing that a bit more later on, but here it's going to get not much play.
You've bypassed the subway security. The ramp in the first terminal should be clear now.
It's like Red Soda played an awful trick. Well, you know, Red Soda plays tricks on all of us. I've always been I've always been a blue soda guy myself, but that's neither here nor there. So one thing that for the any percent run, and we have a couple of the Syphon Filter runners in chat today, including the world record holder Valkyrie, ammo count is very important, particularly in this opening section here. I need to be very economical with my ammo use, particularly the M16. So you see me just kind of using that as best I can. All right, that guard could have run right into me and canceled out my movement. Looks like I'm about 10 seconds off because that's a lot opening. So here, that's just a straight shot to the finish. I just gotta touch this bomb and on I go. One thing to note is that guarded through the grenade, you don't want to get too close to the wall there because he might throw it and it'll hit the wall, setting off that bomb.
Check.
So yeah, so cutscene shows the subway getting blown up, so now Gabe's got to get out of the subway. So here is a fire skip. It's one of a few I will be doing throughout the game. That saved about 25 seconds. The thing when you're doing a fire skip is you want to do it so you're using a two-handed weapon because you get a better roll than you would with a one-handed weapon. So M16 or shotgun or sniper rifle would have worked. You can do it with a one-handed weapon, but you're going to take more damage. And there's a higher margin for error. So here's the leap of faith, where I'm just going to run off the edge there and just climb up rather than shimmying across, which is what the game wants you to do, but we don't have time for that. Now this sequence with the gas mains and setting up the bomb here so the Cbdc agent can come in, you can actually reverse this and do the bomb first and the gas main second and then protect the Cbdc agent, but it's much riskier. You run the risk of the mission just failing you at random. We haven't really found a good consistent setup for that. You can do it, but it's not recommended. So I'm not in a great ammo count spot right now. Would rather have 140 rounds right now rather than 125 because I'm going to be using this a lot in the fourth mission. I have to hope for a good Mara shot here in the next mission. So Mara is the main target in the next mission, and it's essentially like a mini boss fight. I just have to shoot her in the head, and I'm going to try to do a quick turnaround and just get a quick shot before she runs. So it's pretty tight, but it should be pretty easy to get. Of course, I say that and I really screw it up, but managed to get a good snapback there.
Where's Romer? Where are the other bombs?
If I miss, it costs about 5 seconds. All I have to do is go under the median and just shoot her then.
I'm on my way.
But it also wastes more ammo, and we don't want that.
I've sent the pickup frequency.
Check.
Now this is really the first mission where things can get dicey. The first half of this mission is protecting Cbdc agents while they defuse 4 bombs. And the trick with this is you have to take out a certain amount of guards to basically make it okay to move on. It's 1, 5, 3, and 3.
Has the signal. They're on their way.
So this first one's pretty easy. Let's take out this guard on the left and move on. Sometimes that guy doesn't show up and it's 3 down the tunnel, but it's usually, you can usually get 1. The second bomb coming up here is by far the most dangerous because I'm basically protecting this agent and guards can come from pretty much every direction. So that does make it problematic for me. So I'm going to have to hope for a good pattern here. So I'm not getting like 3 guards coming at me from 3 different directions because that's really bad. Let's take him out. So where I'm going to position myself is by no means a guarantee, but it's pretty consistent. But I can get... That was actually 3 in 3 places, but they were varied enough in their timing to make it work. I just took out that 6th guard as insurance. So, the other thing to note, the reason I crouch there is you actually get more accuracy from crouching, which is a nice little bit of tech that the developers put into the game. So it makes me more accurate. Alright, so this next bomb here, this one, I'm going to hope for a good guard spawn in the corner here, where I'm aiming. I'm hoping for a guard to show up. And he did. Just save right here. All right, good. This last one again, I'm gonna hope for a good guard spawn, basically my blind spot. So where I'm gonna position myself, I'm gonna hope for 2 guards to show up.
Stand by.
Okay, I got 1. So actually a pretty good grouping on the bombs there. I finished at 10:03, which is not bad considering, again, that it's kind of bad start with the first bomb on the first level. So here I'm going to do a kind of a pseudo stealth thing. Take out this guy. Take out the guard watching and holding the 2 Cbdc agents hostage. Move on. Alright, so then I just create an uplink to this comm array and then take out this guy, Marcos, who's a trigger man for the terrorists before I take on the first real boss of the game, Girdu.
I'm getting interference. You must be right on top of their uplink dish.
You see the full weight of that climb interaction skip there that really, you know, the time save is really quite substantial. Yeah, not a great roll off the off that structure, but that's all right. So Marcos, I'm going to sneak up behind him and just take him out from behind. Okay. And if anybody in chat has questions, I'm happy to answer, or someone else, one of our Syphon filter experts can also answer as well. So yeah, this is a really good level. This is gonna be like about a 505 for me, which is pretty solid. That's about my average these days. Probably closer to 507, 508, but still a good time.
How much time?
Anton Girdu. I hope Romer's paying you.
So Girdu, you have to hit the fuel tank 3 times with a shotgun. You just got to be quick about it because obviously he's armed with a flamethrower. The one thing with him is you just got to wait for that danger meter to turn on again, because that means
All right.
He's finished.
otherwise his iframes are still kind of resetting, so you got to just be careful with that. So a 1229 opener, not great.
We've analyzed blood taken from Romer's men.
If I were going for a PB, it'd probably be in the 1210 range, 1210 to 1215 range. But this is respectable. So now this opening bit here has the Fagin skip, where I'm going to slip past Fagin and save about 1 minute instead of following him. Ooh, that's almost too far out, but this is fine. Okay. So here's where I'm going to slip ahead of Fagin in the Stonehedge Exhibit. Gotta be careful with this one guard. Sometimes he has extrasensory hearing and will see me or hear me even though I'm crouched. But the rest of this is pretty straightforward. 3 guards to take out in the Egyptian room, on the way to the Egyptian room. So again, we're gonna have a kind of a mini boss fight here with Benton.
What are you doing here?
I'm gonna hope for a quick headshot on him, otherwise this turns into a gunfight, and that's not ideal.
Fagan's run for it. Romer and Airmont went after him.
Okay.
He's finished.
Kind of got away with that one. It was not a great setup. I was able to get the headshot on him because he's actually really dangerous as an enemy. Because he's very accurate, and his weapon, the G18 machine pistol, can do a lot of damage. Yeah, that ledge has tricky timing for some reason. The climb skip here is going to get a lot of use in this stage. And yeah, the climb skip was actually the last really kind of big skip we've had discovered in this game. Baron Haynes, who's best known for his Mega Man work, is also a Syphon filter speedrunner. He was doing this long before I was, or anyone really. He was doing it in the mid 2000s, and he created sort of the template for future runners. And when I and a few others, including Valkyrie, started doing this about 3-4 years ago, you know, his work was really kind of in the background of what we do today. And it still is. Okay. Okay, that was not a good setup on that control panel, but that's alright. It was, wasn't it? Mars. Who says bad guys don't have manners? Alright, so that guard I shot at the top of the platform, the top of the pyramid earlier, he has the master control key card, which is why I'm doing all this sort of backtracking. The other thing to note with the interaction skip is you cannot do it with a single shot weapon like a pistol or a shotgun or anything that's not automatic. It has to be with an automatic weapon. So that's the only way the game can kind of glitch the game out a little bit here. So this guard at the bottom here is kind of unpredictable. Sometimes he'll be actually shooting at me as I'm coming down, or he'll be getting ready to shoot me. If he actually shoots at me, I have to take him out because I won't make it through the door otherwise. No guard here. That means there's probably going to be 3 on the catwalk. Not my preference, but I can make it work. Just got to be really careful. Yep, there he is. It's actually a really good grouping on those guards. A little over 5 minutes. Thought I actually played that pretty well, and there was a little bit of stuff in the astronaut exhibit, but overall that was solid, I thought. You know. So this next mission's really short. There are a couple of little things though. The main thing is all the guards at this point are wearing flak jackets, so I'm going to be using the K3G4 pretty much exclusively until I get to the end here. Now, many of you, if you know about Syphon filter, it's largely because of the air taser. Well, I've got some good news and bad news. The good news is we will be using the air taser here. The bad news, it'll be very short, and it'll be the last time we use it today. So if you were hoping I was going to fry somebody, I'm very sorry. Not in this game. You have to speedrun Syphon filter 2 for that. So this guard pattern up ahead here, it can go one of 3 ways. There are 2 guards to show up right away, and they did. The problem, if they hesitate and they just kind of take their time coming out into the open here, I might run into them, and that changes the AI behavior. They become more aggressive towards me instead of running off.
Tell me where the virus labs are.
I'm gonna just tase them. Mara here.
Tell me, or I will kill you.
There she goes.
Is Mara still alive?
Yes. Now to get some answers.
Hurry, more security is on its way.
The shimmy skip here, which I'm not really trying to attempt, is very finicky. Basically, I hit the strafe button while shimmying, and it makes Gabe move a little faster.
Gabe, we needed Mara alive.
Yes, I shot Mara. That's just to make the cutscene end faster. Does not actually end the mission. So, but it takes about 2 seconds.
I've discovered why every mission in this investigation has been compromised.
This mission is very random
Check.
and can be really frustrating. This is really the second choke point of a speed run. What I'm going to try to do is be... Well, never mind. I was trying to be stealthy all the way to Gabrick, who's the base commander. Uh-oh.
I planted the first
Gotta
explosive.
hurry. Okay. Getting a little feisty around that fuel tank. Gotta be careful. Now, setting off the alarm is not a big deal. It just makes a couple of things a little slower, but it also affords me the opportunity to get the combat shotgun here rather than sneaking around. I can't do this in stealth mode because there's a searchlight there. So it would have triggered the alarm. Yeah, Mara made it through 5 of the 6 Syphon filter games, so what does that tell you? Or appears in 5 of the 6. Okay, so ideally Gabrick's going to show up here after I place the explosive. He does not. I think the fire... Uh-oh. I'm going to, again, play this pretty conservative. The problem when you trigger the alarm, as I did, is you have unlimited guards to contend with, so that was a lot of damage. Shotgun guards here are brutal. Oh, I can aim. Yeah, I'm just aiming all. My aim is all over the place so far today.
That's the last explosive. I'll trigger the timer once I'm on the roof and have disabled their radar.
Copy.
You know, you can actually hit these guys anytime, Gabe. Thanks. You missed 4 in a row. Shotgun aim is really random in this game sometimes. So I'm going to have to ride this a little bit, but I should be okay. It's... Guard sequence up ahead here is critical. Yeah, 4.5 is probably fair. She only appears in a bonus mission. So I don't know if that really... Ooh, oh boy. Okay, I can do this. Done a million times. That's not good. Oh, no. Oh. Damn. That's unfortunate. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Huh. Yeah, that little death cost me about 45 seconds.
Leon. Right.
The other sort of side effect of that death is I'm in a much worse ammo count situation with the PK-102 because I really need that gun for this mission. I also need the... There we go. Okay, so... Whoa. Do not want to be taking damage in this mission. Almost did. Oh god. I got all twisted around.
Gabe, check your fire. Damaging that missile could set it off.
Then I got to do gives me 2 interaction skips generally instead of 1. That guard there, yeah, he was just being an ass. So I really had to kind of take my time with that one because I don't want to be taking damage before the second boss fight because I really want to have full health, and it'll save me about 3 seconds. Otherwise, I'd have to stop off for a black jacket.
I've got the last code. I'm gonna try to find a way up to the radar tower on the roof. Get ready to lift off.
I'm ready.
GoldenEye in third person. It's not a bad analogy.
Leon, I found the elevator to the roof. Get ready to dust off.
Gabe, the force is probably in control.
So ideally, this is going to go in a 3-phase fight, where the helicopter is going to do 3 passes. 1 in front, but it's going to depend on just really my timing. So I'm going to refill and do a little bit of a cutscene skip here. Okay, Chopper can appear in 2 locations. It really doesn't matter which one. The main thing is you just got to basically do a ton of damage in this first 2 phases. So when he hovers over, I can basically finish him off. Oh, just at the buzzer too. If he had actually flown away without me blowing him up, it would cost me about 15 seconds. So we now come to the most, I'd say the most dangerous skip of the game. It's called Fire Truck Skip. I'm basically going to do a side roll onto a very specific pixel here and basically cut through about 3/4 of this stage. There it is. That's Fire Truck Skip. So I did a side roll and got onto that truck in a spot where I can still survive without getting, lit aflame, and then just did a damage boost through the rest of it. So at 27:53 halftime. My preferred time is about 26:30.
Syphon filter.
But that death in base 1 hurt me.
One more.
So, but now we come to the real meat of the game, because, I said this is halftime, but the next 9 missions take up about 60% of the game's playtime. And these next 3 missions are a large reason why.
Found the first group of check.
So more interaction skips. I got 2 good ones with the test subjects. It can go one of 3 ways. It can be a slow one, or the quick one, or what we call a blessing, where Gabe just kind of lifts his hand slightly. Yeah. Not a great setup there, but it's fine. Yeah, Herpy Derp is saying it's highly underrated. I would agree with that. The first game, there's a blessing, by the way. The first game is the most famous, and it did sell over 1 million copies in 1999. I think it's held up reasonably well under the circumstances. Yeah, it looks kind of rough around the edges, but if you know Tomb Raider, you should be pretty familiar with the game's kind of dynamics and physics. I'd say the original is definitely one of probably the 20 best PlayStation 1 games. It's not up there with, say, Final Fantasy VII or Symphony of the Night or Tony Hawk 2, but it's a very good game. Do a 3-for-1 here with the scientists. Slip around them for the moment so I get my PK-102, and then I'm going to grab the key card. Gotta be careful, though. Gas grenade can kill me as well, so, you know, it's an equal opportunity killer in that respect, so giving yourself kind of a wide berth is recommended. Yeah, the interaction and climb skips are going to get plenty of play in the next two missions. This mission and the next one. They're essentially carbon copies of one another. Not great. I was hoping to get him much faster than that, but... I think that scientist is going to run around the corner. Nope, he did not. That's nice. Metal Gear Solid certainly is a valid comparison, although this game is much more action-oriented than MGS is. And not nearly as deep into the nanomachine stuff as Metal Gear Solid. Although the idea of Syphon filter being a weapon that can be that can target specific peoples are there is some overlap there. A biological weapon that can target specific people, that kind of thing. Although the description I just gave there should reflect a certain spy movie that came out about a month ago, if you've seen it. Just a thought. Not sure I should have rolled there. There's going to be two guards behind me. I don't want them alerting the scientist up ahead. They're shooting. Okay. Not just yet. I did that. This is a challenge that's really only applicable, I'd say, to the original Syphon filter. Weapon cycling is important in this game because Gabe needs like a second and a half every time he switches weapons. And there are certain ways you can kind of get around it. If you're like dropping down boxes or something, you can kind of cancel some of it out, but you got to be pretty smart with how you cycle through weapons in this game. Because they made it instantaneous in 2 and 3, but in the original, you don't get that luxury. They also cut down significantly on interaction skips in 2 and 3, so it's kind of a trade-off. 2 and 3, 2 in particular has some major sequence breaks. So I'm going to lure this scientist out. He's at the end of this corridor here, but I'm going to leave him for the moment and just kind of work around him. I'll get to him in a minute. Okay, there he goes. That blue dot is him. But first, I have to save a couple of test subjects here and take out a couple of scientists. I'm not getting too much luck with the... I'm getting a lot of blessings of late now with the test subjects. Some of the scientists are armed with 45s, and while they're not Gordon Freeman level dangerous, they can be a problem. So you just got to be careful with them. It was a little early on that interaction, Skip, so yeah, another blessing. Try to get the last one clean, though. So there's going to be a scientist here that... spawns in a specific spot, and he actually appears as you're going down the ramp here. So he's going to appear, and there he goes. And that scientist that I ignore, he kind of runs around in a circle until I finish him off. So this will be the last test subject I have to deal with, thank God. After this, it's grabbing key cards and taking out scientists the rest of the way. It's kind of a coin flip as to whether it's faster to just take the message from Markinson or just to move on. I just generally ignore it because I want to just keep the momentum going. But it's kind of in a gray area. I could have ignored that guard, and it actually would have affected the spawn points here because there's gonna be a guard on the railing here. If I don't take him out, if I ignored him, he wouldn't have appeared here. But I'd rather just deal with this because it'll make the return trip a little easier for me. Because I'd have to take out that guard and a second at the same time. It's a good pattern by the scientists there. That scientist will run in, again, like others, will run in circles, and it's kind of random how he will appear, but you basically want him running towards you if possible. Or if he's away from you, you want him to come into the middle, so you just make it nice and easy. Not have to worm your way around a lot of this stuff, around the lab tables. I'm going to, again, leave him for the moment. I'm going to take out the scientist here, grab his key card. I know from people I've talked about with this game, but they do not like these missions because they feel like they're too long and it's impossible to find everything. Like, once you know the route, though, there's no RNG to where the scientists show up or where the test subjects are. Once you learn it, it's actually pretty straightforward. But yeah, they are still pretty long as levels, so there is that. But otherwise, you know, it's pretty easy. The only other thing you got to worry about is, and this is a problem with the game in general, checkpoints are not plentiful in this game. So if you're speedrunning this and you make a mistake, particularly in these missions, it's probably going to be a 1 to 2 minute mistake. All right, so I'm gonna wind this down and get into the catacombs through the Rose Chapel down below. Unfortunately, you can't just roll off and go straight down. Even if you could, there's a scientist here, and he's at about the midsection of this whole route. So it's not practical to deal with him. So it's not practical to try and skip that, unfortunately. Now we come to everybody's favorite mission, the Catacombs.
Security has been breached. Roma has ordered the...
All of Romer's underground security is palm print activated. You must follow the guard and let him open the cell. If you are seen, you won't be able to get in.
Have an evac standing by. It won't be long.
The reason I let that cutscene kind of just go on is it doesn't really make any difference. The scientists will not move any faster or slower. And it's good to give yourself like a 10-second break there before you really get into the meat of this. So this opening section here is basically me following the scientist for 2 minutes and 25 seconds or so. Well, not that long, more like 2 minutes, but unfortunately there's really no way to make this go faster. You just can't be seen. And this is the second mandatory stealth portion of the game. The first was with Fagin, but we're able to kind of work around that. Whereas Syphon Filter 2, I believe about 1/3 of the game is stealth. So, you know, if you like stealth, you'll get plenty of that in that game. And a lot of it is quite frustrating for speedrunning. There are some sequence breaks, but it's still, you know, is a bit of a slog. The main reason this mission is really aggravating, particularly for speedrunning, is Fagin, who I have to escort to Leon's cell, and Fagin is gonna do. Oh, wow, no guard. I'm still trying to figure out how to get that so I don't have to see him at all, but well, it does cut down on my PK-102 ammo, but I'll be all right. All right, so Fagin is a pain. Like, he operates basically to his own dictates.
Follow me.
All I can do is just, you know, clear the path for him and hope he doesn't, you know, do too many stupid things. The big thing here is I'm going to aim while I shoot mostly, because if I do a free shoot, he will slow down. So I just, you know, shoot from the hip, he will stop moving. If altogether, he will not run. Okay, I kind of hesitated there because the guard ran past me before I could do anything. No, I could. You know, I'm not doing very good at this aiming thing today. I'm sorry.
Follow me.
Told you, I'm just not doing very well at it today.
This way. Kill them.
All right. Okay. Okay, that's actually a good pattern. Get one to come out and one to slide away. I'm gonna actually stop, get K3G4 ammo here. This will be critical down the stretch. You're running, Fagin, sorry. Okay, so we're around. There's only one checkpoint for Fagin, unfortunately. There's also one for Leon, but the one for Leon is actually much later. Almost ran into Fagin there. If I run into Fagin, he stops. There's all these rules for Fagin you gotta kind of obey, work with. But he's down. Come on, move. So I'm gonna try and lure this guard out and have just Fagin slide past.
This way.
Come on. There you go. Ideally, you want to have the G18 for this whole section because it is the highest rate of fire in the game. Of any weapon. The only deal is about average. It's only average as far as damage goes, but with 33 of them in the magazine, you're going to do a lot of damage. So yeah, that was not ideal because of what happened getting blown away.
Let's get out of here.
All right, so I'm gonna shoot Leon here.
Are you crazy?
Basically, make her run through this entire section. Otherwise, she would stop and shoot all these guards. So it's a nice little bit of cruelty that just makes this game go so much. The section go so much faster. It takes only about 2 minutes to like 2 minutes 20 seconds. The only thing is I gotta stay close to her. I can't get too far away, otherwise she'll slow down. So it's basically a dead sprint from this point on. So you can like slow down there because that guard ran into me. Well, most of the guards are going to be kind of varying their attention between me and Leon. And I'll pick up some flak jackets along the way for any damage I take. I know which guards have flak jackets and which ones don't. Because there's no RNG to that whatsoever. Thank you, Kaiser. Appreciate it. Not my best marathon run, that's for sure. Two unfortunate setbacks. Okay. So I can go from... It's a lot of damage. Yeah, the same thing actually works in a section in Syphon Filter 3. There's a bit where I shoot a character in the legs, and it makes her go faster. So yes, this game is sending all sorts of wonderful messages, isn't it? So that's the end of the catacombs, thank God.
There's someone up ahead.
Please.
Gabe, with both
This is the home stretch now. Now this mission is got a lot of randomness to it, mostly with the guards and the weapons they are carrying, and how they spawn.
Erickson, move.
So those first two guards, they can have 2 PK-102s, 2 shotguns, or 1 of each, and today I got 1 of each, which is actually my preferred setup, because it'll make certain sections go a little faster for me. Now the main thing is we're just gotta track, plant trackers on 3 viral carriers. Now with all these warehouses, it might seem a little overwhelming to know which is where they are. Yes, it is Mars. That's the one. Uh-oh. You're gonna take out that guy. You better get rid of him because he is armed with a shotgun. Uh-oh. That could be a problem. Now, these grenades I have to pick up because I'm going to be using them quite a bit in this mission and a little later on. So, normally I would have blown up those fuel tanks to clear a path, but they already did it, so I'm going to have to just run through this. Yeah, just kind of screwed up my setup there, but that's alright. So, let these guys... Oh, no, that's not good. Was hoping to have that fuel tank there. Those fuel canisters. Now I gotta do this, normally. Yeah, I don't make the rules here, Murphy. If it makes the game go faster, that's what I do. I'm not saying I'm proud of this, and I'm not, but, all for speed, right? So I threw a grenade there to get rid of to get those guards to clear out and to make this a little easier. Otherwise, those guards would be shooting at me rather than each other. So I'm going to use 2 more grenades here. Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. Yep. Guard behavior is very random in this level, and I had no chance there. So I'm going to just take that as a loss. Alright, so I'm going to throw a grenade here. I'm going to throw another grenade in the corner to take out 3 spawning guards. Or I hope I get all 3 of them. Okay, I did. Good. Yeah. That's pretty much it, Murphy. We're just trying to go fast. So yeah, that death only cost me about 8 or 9 seconds. It's not a huge loss. So up ahead here, there could be a little bit of randomness with these guards that I'm going to try and slip past. Ideally, they're going to not pay no attention to me and just keep running, and I'm just going to slip past them. But sometimes they will stop and shoot at me, and that kind of throws off my prep for this section. Okay, good pattern. So, okay, so that's the end of that mission. Yeah, about 4:45, not bad. Alright, so from this point on, every guard I deal with is going to be wearing a flak jacket, so headshots are pretty much
I found shipping
a must at this point. Or I use the K3G4, but I'm going to use that sparingly throughout, because I want to have enough of it for the final mission. So now I'm gonna do a loop around here, and there's gonna be, I'm gonna listen for an audio clue with the guard carrying a Biz 2, who I call Biz Quick. There he is. All right, good. So that'll set up this next section pretty nicely, and more explosions. Getting a lot of those today. It's random. Not sure it's a good or a bad thing. Okay. Okay, that guard slips. I slip past that guard as he runs out. Oh, early grenade guard. Wow. That's interesting. I'd known that, I actually would have adjusted my tactics. It doesn't really make a huge amount of difference, it just kind of changes the setup for this next section a little bit. It's not good or bad, it just is. I'm gonna take out this grenade guard. Oh. I'm gonna give myself a wide berth here. Okay, took out the 2 guards behind me. That's what I want to have happen.
Right.
Want to have happen. Otherwise they'd be right on top of me after I planted the 3rd viral carrier. So this is going to use the K3G4 here to take out 3 guards here. K3G4 cuts through flak jackets. Now I'm going to switch back and use the PK102 on the last 4 guards here. Slightly off center pattern there with the 2 guards running out. One guard running out.
Gabe, that's warehouse 76. The entrance to the silo.
Got a cutscene skip, a slight cutscene skip there with that grenade going off. So that saved about 2 or 3 seconds, which is nice. That's completely random, by the way.
Leon, ask me. Right.
Now, Warehouse 76 has 2 fire skips, one up front, one at the end here. So I'm going to have to be pretty smart on how I deal with the guards in between. So not a great roll either. I was hoping to have at least like 30%, 25% armor, not like 10. So I'm going to take out 2 guards here to replenish my armor. Guard in this warehouse here that I'm going to get a headshot on to get his armor, and I should be okay for the 2nd fire skip. I'm going to shoot that switch. I'm going to roll through this little patch of fire here to get on the elevator once it arrives. Oof. A lot of damage.
Elevator down.
That's why I needed that,
Still no contact. We're finally starting to attract some attention, though. The Kazakhstan government.
That's why you go for the armor.
And is asking Russia for help. They think a civil war is breaking out here.
I'll hurry.
There is another fire skip you can do, but you basically have to have perfect rolls to get it to go. So now we're in the caverns, on our way to the missile silo.
Watch out down there, Gabe.
Check.
I'm gonna restock on my flak jacket, and I'm gonna just run past these guards here, and just ignore them altogether. I'm gonna use K3G4 on this guy here. Okay, that's what I call the Mara skip, where I climb on that ledge before Leon can call me to tell me that Mara is basically saying that how to get around those lasers that are basically the plot point of this mission. Now the Biz 2 is, I'd say, the 2nd best gun in the game behind the K3G4, largely because it has 66 rounds and does a ton of damage to guards. So you're really getting the best of both worlds here. The only thing it doesn't do is cut through flak jackets. Don't want to get too OP. But for my purposes, it'll do just fine for what I need it to do. Okay, that's fine. So I'll just wait this out, and then I'm gonna climb up these boxes. There's an access switch I have to, activate here to, turn the elevators on. But I'm gonna use a grenade to turn it on. because this will despawn a couple of guards. Should be an okay throw. Yep. Okay, good. So normally, if you actually press the button like you're supposed to, like 5 guards will appear here and turn this into a real firefight. This way, no problem. So that saves about, that turned this from like a 4-minute, 30-second level to about 3.5 on average. Because that fight is pretty ugly. So there's just 6 guards remaining. I'm going to slip past the next 3. So I can just roll past them. Okay, so I took quite a bit of damage there. So I could have, if I got through that damage list, I might have gone for the second, skipping past the final set of guards here. But you know, just to keep things humming along, I'm going to take out all 3 instead.
I've made it into the power room. I'm going to try to overload the generator.
Be careful. I'm not sure what that will do to the power room. The whole place could blow.
I don't have much choice.
So that's the end of this mission. So there's 2 missions left. The next one is the Blackout Stage, which by itself is not especially difficult. Once you figured out the guard patterns and all of that, it's actually pretty straightforward. There is a skip in this level that saves about, well, it's not really a skip, but it's
Gabe, are you there?
basically, taking chances with, how dangerous the guards are. It's what we call the Yolo Skip. It saves about 20 seconds rather than doing it, the fairly conservative way. But if you screw up, you go right back here to this checkpoint, because there's only 1 checkpoint in this mission. Interesting. That second guard normally is running for me, but today he didn't hear a thing. Interesting. In the classic annals, I've never seen that before. It's been a long time since I've seen that happen. So normally he comes a running. I'm gonna just play this kind of safe. Yeah, I know that was totally safe, right? Well, pretty consistent setup that way, though. So yeah, so I'm not going to do the YOLO skip today. It only has about I'd say a 30 to 40% chance of actually working. Because if those guards, get lucky and really do some damage, you have no chance. So you either have to stop the YOLO altogether, or you basically have to tempt fate, and I'm not really in the mood to do either. Okay, that guard randomly appearing there basically clinched it, coming out from the side there. Alright, so that's the end of the Blackout. Now it's on to the silo.
Leon, I found the elevator down to the silo. See?
Yeah, looks like it's gonna be about a mid 106 today.
Leon, check.
If I can get the silo door skip. First, let's see what I get off of this. Okay, so sometimes that grenade throw will actually take out one of the 2 guards down below and make the section a little faster, but it's random. You get maybe about a 1 in 3 chance of that actually hitting. That guard has been the bane of my existence. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try and get in through the silo doors after this missile launches, and then I'm going to roll out and it's going to help me skip like about 6 to 8 seconds of cutscenes. So let's see if it works. There it is. Didn't get the super fast one where it basically goes right to Gabe as the missile's launching, but that's fine. Can't really. And the elevator is deciding to have a funny with me. It does that sometimes.
Gabe, I'm intercepting frantic calls from NATO Command. They're tracking the missile's launch. All European commands are being ordered to DEFCON 3. If you don't get to
I'm
the
just gonna
destination
slip past this guard
we're
here.
looking at World War III.
Okay, so there's a scientist with a key card that I need to take out. He's always over on this side. Okay. Good guard. Gotta be careful. There is a guard with a biz right behind me, so I need to move really quick to get around him. Otherwise, you know, you're dead. So now we're on to Romer, the final boss. But he's only vulnerable to one weapon, gas grenades. So I'm gonna help myself to those gas grenades. I'm gonna throw them in a specific place to basically, as soon as this cutscene ends, he will die. Watch. The time is coming up
Leon,
after
I'm triggering the missile's
when we see Romer covered in gas. And time.
What now?
So
We get the lab.
that is Syphon filter, more or less.
No, I mean, all of this. What's happened here? Markinson's involvement with Fagin, Romer, their plans, the virus.
What's it all mean? I don't know.
Oh.
With Mark.
So, I hope you all enjoyed this run of Syphon Filter. I'm very pleased I got to do it for the 3rd straight year for Speed Gaming Live. The people at Speed Gaming have always been great to me, not only letting me run this, but also in their support in the Mario 3 randomizer community as well, which the tournament I am running. It was a great thrill to do this today at this ungodly hour. I'm still not awake yet, but thanks all for watching. I hope you enjoy, and good luck to the future runners. I know we have Pepsi coming up, so I'll support the blue can. So thanks all, and thanks everybody who came by to watch today. Much appreciated. Thank you.